Peace, peace, peace. It's the Black Republican. It's been a while since I made a video, but I wanted to chime in on this guy right here, Mr. Steve Harvey, and the comment he made to the gentleman about enjoy your dirty water, and that was very undignified, Steve. Even for a man of your so-called stature and nigga prominence and being on the radio and fucking telling jokes, then you wrote a book giving black women misinformation on how to succeed or progress in relationships with a black man, and you have always had not so good things to say about black men as quote unquote black relationships. But shit, look at your relationships and how you left your wife for the mistress. But shit like that goes down. It happens all the time. And usually when you go from ashy to classy, when you upgrade your car and your clothing, you upgrade your woman usually. But I just want black people to understand that, the Boule does exist. And all these different fraternal orders and sororities and, higher up the ladder, they're not for you. When they go higher up the ladder into their organization and they get more and more of the esoteric teachings of their organization, they realize they can't be for you. They're the gatekeepers. Because in this game of white supremacy and capitalism and, here in America, they must let a small percentage of blacks succeed to taste wealth, the good life. So the have-nots can look at them and aspire of what to be. And continue to play this fucking game. Because if you in this society and you came to the conclusion like, hey, I'm not going anywhere, I can't attain any type of wealth, there's no hope, there's nothing, there's no growth or development, there's nothing. You're not gonna want to play the fucking game no more. You'll become a threat to the establishment. So they give us the Steve Harveys, the D.L. Hugleys, the Bernie Macs, the Cat Williams, the NFL players, the Michael Jordans. But we have all these black millionaires in entertainment because that's where the majority of the black millionaires are. Either the niggas shooting or throwing the ball or telling the fucking joke or acting. But none of them have pulled their resources together and formulated an institution that's beneficial for black people. First and foremost beneficial for black people. Then you may have some diversity in there, but these people, what are they doing? What are they doing for us? And it's not to say they owe us anything, but they have a moral obligation to support the people that propelled them to that fucking plateau. And it's said that Steve Harvey has some mentoring program, but what is he teaching your children? I wouldn't send my fucking kids to that mentoring program. And whose children he has? Is it members of the Jack and Jill? Or, members of the black elite? It's a lot of questions we need to start asking and demand answers from guys like him Umar Johnson. People who put themselves in a position, well, people who have been placed in a position, and those who are opportunists who put themselves in a position to be quote unquote black leadership. But they never give you a fundamental plan or platform to follow. We don't need any more individual leaders. That concept died off during the black quote unquote revolutionary movement. Either our leaders went to jail, or they were executed, or the less radical took fucking jobs working for the government. That's what happened. What we have now are a bunch of charlatans who are lining their coffers and being parasitic of the suffering of the black masses. That Flint comment wasn't a fucking joke, man, because you have women and children and babies who are suffering from that, man. The people are suffering from that. And you made that distasteful, undignified fucking comment, man. You need your fucking head cracked in for that shit. I'm sick of niggas like this, man. That's right, I said nigga. Yeah, nigga. Because technically this man brings no viable fucking value to society other than telling a fucking joke and being a fucking coon. What is he really doing? But playing on the minds and hearts and the emotions of fucking people, which is really illogical. It's really illogical. This motherfucker hasn't contributed to science, technology, medicine, nothing. So really, he's artificial. Now, black people, we gotta start holding people like this to task. And making and bringing this shit right before them and saying, hey, this is unacceptable behavior. We're not having it. And if you gotta crack this motherfucker in his head for him to get it, then so be it. Because these people are not above reproach. They're not. They're human beings just like you and I. He pisses and shits and eats and farts just like we do. But he chose a different path. He chose a different path. Like I said, he's Boule. He's a gatekeeper. He has no interest in the proliferation of the black race. He has no interest in the unification of the black family unit, along with the repair of the black family unit. He will not speak on that. We don't need any more individual leaders. We need a moral and ethical platform to follow. But people don't want to put the work in. People don't want to have the wherewithal to go through the struggle. So our children will benefit, or their children will benefit. People don't want to make sacrifices because niggas want to feel good. They want to smoke. They want to drink. They want to fuck. They want to eat and watch the latest TV shows and listen to this low frequency music, thinking shit's all good. And it's not. Because the black community is in despair. We're venturing deeper and deeper into barbarism. Because anytime you have these young black males out here committing serious felonies, such as murder, rape, armed robbery, molestation, kidnapping, we have a problem within our community. And whether you like it or not, these things have to be addressed. I'm tired of going into the courtroom and seeing nothing but black men and young black women in there. Being tried for felonies. We cannot continue to sweep this behavior under the rug, because eventually the dirt is going to come from under the rug. We cannot continue to do it. We must address these sociological problems that plague us as black people. And that's the problem. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to get tongue-tied, but man, I'm really passionate about this shit, man. And the biggest problem in the black community is not having, God. It's the failure to understand our sociology. And the importance of family. Because family is the #1 social institution in any civilized, quote-unquote, civilized society. And being that our family is broken, collectively, not all, but collectively, we're experiencing these sociological problems. We got to get it together. And if we can't get it together as a collective, certain individuals who have the wherewithal, the intelligence, the moral and ethical fiber in their body, they're going to have to marry and form small communities. Because people of principle and integrity cannot function and exist in the midst of the unintelligent. You can't. You can't. It just won't work. And stop blaming the fucking white man. Just stop it. Just stop it. And I wouldn't actually say the white man hasn't contributed to many of our social ills. But we got to clean up our own backyard before we focus on the white man. Because you have many people out here who are race baiters and they're using this shit as a platform, but they're not building any fucking institutions. And if you accumulated $300,000, stop being a fucking nigger and trying to rise to an aspiration that is beyond your grasp right now. So if you're from Philadelphia and you have over $300,000 in a GoFundMe account, why can't you open up a storefront, get 10, 15 young black males, and use that storefront as a control to show what you have works? See, this is the shit that bugs me out, where you never ran a school or a university, but you want $4 or $5 million to buy a school and run it. That's absurd. That's absurd. And you haven't produced any viable business plan. Nothing. No board of directors. Nothing. But you call black people trifling because you only got $300,000. Nigga, you lucky to get that. And haven't produced any qualifications, any paperwork verifying all the jargon you spewed out. And it bewilders me how people can actually follow this fucking guy, man, without seeing any paperwork. And that says something about the mentality of many African Americans. You're not fucking ready for self-governance. Because you continue over and over and over again fall for the 3-card Monty. You fail to exercise critical thinking. Who, what, when, why, where. This is basic shit you learn when you go to college. With report writing. You fail to utilize critical thinking, and anyone can come out the woodwork and hand you a fucking $4 bill and get change. And this type of behavior needs to cease. And then when intelligent black people hold those individuals to task, we get attacked and called trolls and things like that. That's absurd. It's absurd. Man, me personally, I'm just on that journey right now. I'm on that journey for knowledge, peace, and fulfillment. Because community building isn't top priority on the list of fucking black people. I'm sorry. And if it is, can you please show me where it's transpiring so I can move there? Please. I would like to know where there's a black community that's flourishing, where the people exhibit brotherhood and solidarity and unity. I would like to go there. That sounds like a utopia to me. Because from where I'm at, there's nothing but an apathy in the black community. And a lack of morals, ethics, and principles. Anything goes. Anything goes. You exhibit a particular sexual behavior, and then once your community becomes infested with HIV, herpes, and other communicable diseases, you want to blame the white man. But you never look at your behavior and what role you play in that. It's never mentioned. It's never mentioned. Now let me digress. Like I said, people like Steve Harvey are the gatekeepers. They're Boule. And it's been said he's worth $120 million. And he came from nothing. He sold out places. He told jokes, whether they were funny or not. I guess he put the grit in, went out on the road, things of that nature. And I guess he was offered a proposal somewhere in his career. And I don't know what came with that proposal. But he accepted it. And look at him now. He's famous. Radio show, talk show. He's doing every fucking thing. And he's not that fucking funny if you ask me. But somewhere along the line, he compromised his integrity and he sold his soul. But then you have to, let's say, look at it from his perspective. Hey, I came from nothing. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for dinner at time. Slept in my car. Motherfuckers hated on me. And ain't nobody give me shit. My wife supported me, but shit, she ain't the finest thing anymore. And this proposal comes. The devil whispers in his ear. And he accepted it. This motherfucker ain't for you. Because there's a price that comes with $120 million. There's a price that comes with hosting a TV show. There's a price that comes with hosting a radio show. This motherfucker ain't for you. He's not. Hey, all I can say, turn the fucking TV off. Turn the radio off. Let's ostracize ourselves from these fucking people. These people are sociopaths. And they don't touch on core, pertinent issues that's going on in the world today. Black people, speak to your neighbor. Talk to your neighbor. Shit, go to the park. Sit under a fucking tree. Whip a chair or a blanket out. Open a book. It's time for us to go back to the things we used to do. It's time for us to dig within. Look within. Blow the dust off our core values and exercise them. Because as a community, as a people nationwide, we can't continue down this path. We're dying. Morally, ethically, physically, emotionally, mentally, we're fucking dying. Our race is dying off here in America. And I'll come out and say, I don't support homosexuality. I'm not going to sit here and say anything derogatory towards them because they're a protected class. But I don't support it. I believe it brings no value to any society. Unless you want to exercise quote-unquote perversion. A baby cannot be created out of two men together or two women together. So it goes against the laws of nature. But if that's what you want to practice, okay, so be it. Practice that shit. But practice it across the fucking street. Our fucking children are watching you and looking at that shit. And I don't care who want to flag what I said or be pissed off, but come on, man. Just like you're fighting to get your behavior accepted, we're fighting to maintain the continuance of the moral fiber that's left in the black community. So, you take it as how you want to take it. But subscribe to my channel. This is the Black Republican. I just wanted to make this video about this man right here. He knows better. Steve's in his 60s. He knows better. He knows better. But he chooses not to do better. Because he can't. But, you know, that pretty thing on his arm, that Bentley, that mansion, those cigars, those expensive suits, those are extensions of his reality. And it helps him cope with the decision that he has made and the behavior that he exhibits. He's not going to fucking apologize. And you know what? Fuck his apology. Let's just stop supporting this motherfucker altogether. That's it. Fuck him. We don't need him. He needs us. And that's one thing you need to get through your fucking thick skull, people. We don't need those individuals. They need us to watch them, to keep them relevant. Because this whole social structure has pulled a big fucking Jedi mind trick on the masses of the people. And we need to get it together. For real. But it's the Black Republican. Subscribe to my channel. I'm going to start putting some more videos out there. I just wanted to say, talk to your neighbor. Love yourself. Develop knowledge of self. And, you know, enhance and maintain your moral character. And keep it moving and enjoy as much as this shit you possibly can. Extract as much pleasure out of life as you possibly can, because this fucking ride is quick and it's short and there ain't no coming back. Alright? Peace.